Today's episode of the Audiophiliac Daily Show is brought to you by Zoo Audio. Hey friends, my name is Steve Guttenberg. This, as you probably already know, this is the Audiophiliac Daily Show. And today I'm going to review the EMOTIVA Bass X TA-100 stereo integrated amplifier. It's $399. And that price is almost too good to be true for what you get for your $399 is pretty freaking amazing in the year 2020. First thing, it's beautifully made. It's an all-steel chassis with a milled aluminum faceplate. It's thick, it's juicy, it just has that right feel. Feel is so much a part of playing with and owning great audio equipment. It has to feel right. And even the volume control knob, the way when you turn it, it just has a feel. It's just like, yeah. So it's 50 watts a channel into 8 ohms, 90 watts into 4 ohms. So yes, it can easily drive 4 ohm speakers, surprisingly loud. It is a Class AB design. Full stop. That's kind of unusual for a $399 integrated amplifier. It's got look at the inside. I'm showing you the inside. Nice, chunky toroidal transformer, heat sinks for the output transistors. This thing is built. Again, surprising for the price. But the features, as we used to say in retail, features. It's just got so many incredible features. It has a USB input. You don't see that on too many integrated amps, certainly not at this price range. It has coaxial and optical inputs as well. It has a dongle for Bluetooth if you're into the Bluetooth thing. The output connectors for the speaker cables are nicely done. Again, I can find no fault here in terms of the feature package. It has a moving coil and moving magnet, or should I say a moving magnet and moving coil phono input. It has a 3-year warranty. I'm jumping around because I am genuinely excited. And by the way, it has subwoofer outputs, not one, but two. They're both mono, but 2 subwoofer outputs, preamplifier outputs. Again, I am thrilled with the selection there. What are my nitpicks? What are the things that bug me about this product? Well, there's a few. I'll list them right now. First thing is the menu system is impossible or nearly impossible for me to figure out in my limited time with this product. Limited because I got other things to do. I can't just review one product forever, right? So I never quite got the hang of navigating the menu system. Certainly, I never got to really listen to FM radio because this has a tuner, but I never could figure out how to tune the tuner. Eventually, I'm sure I would have got the knack. What else didn't I like? I didn't like the remote. The remote is a little plastic remote. That part is okay, but again, using the remote is just, well, other than to make the volume go up and down, that I mastered and the mute, but basically I wasn't happy with the remote all that much. Oh, the headphone jack was an annoyance because it's a 3.5 millimeter jack, and most home headphones have 6.3, but not exclusively, but most of mine do. So yeah, why couldn't they have put in a 6.3? I don't know, but ask Dan Laufman. He's the owner of the company. The ring circling the volume control, the blue ring, is a tad bright, especially at night. It's a little eye-searing. I wish you could dim it or something. Maybe you can. Maybe that's in the setup menu that I never actually mastered. These are just nitpicks. The greatest thing about the TA-100 is, in addition to its features and its amazing price, it sounds really good. The speakers I used for this review were 2. I used 2 pair, that is. I used the Q Acoustics 3030i, which I just reviewed. Love that speaker. It's also $400 a pair. And of course the EMOTIVA B1 Plus, which is about half that price. It's a great speaker for that kind of money. Again, for you guys out there who are just starting on the audiophile journey, this amp would be a terrific partner to those 2 speakers or ELAC speakers or Klipschas and stuff. great amp. You know what? I didn't try it because I don't have them right now. It could probably do well with the Magnepan LRS, which is a power-hungry 4-ohm speaker. This one, I wish I had them here, but unfortunately I don't. But I have a feeling it would be a nice match and keep the price down. So I did a few quickie comparisons with a Denon PMA 600 NE integrated amp, which is also, last time I checked, $400. So that was a level playing field. And the first thing I heard doing these comparisons with the Q Acoustics was that the TA100 was more spacious. The stereo imaging was bigger, a little deeper, and when I went back to the Denon, it was more closed in and not as spacious, just a little less. There was a lid on the sound on the Denon compared to the rambunctious TA100. They both made a fair amount of bass with the Q Acoustics 3030i, but the TA100's grip on the bottom was more muscular. It had more control, and the Denon was a little sloppy by comparison. I was using this Amon Tobin CD for these early listening tests because it has a lot of bass and great space and great imaging. It's all synthesizer and samples and stuff, but it's great. I don't like his other albums as much, but this one, I'm showing it to you now, what a great demo disc. And putting the system through its paces, both of those amps and the 3030s, it was incredible. That Amon Tobin record has these phasing sounds, like, you know, flying around the room, and big space, like way beyond the width of the speakers. Really, really impressive. To return to something that has some basis in the sound of real instruments, I used this CD. And I was at this session, and it's a New Orleans big band, just juicy, great dynamics. This recording is not dynamically compressed. And again, the 3030 TA100 combo was kicking it, was taking no prisoners because it was all good. Returning to the Denon, the sound was a little more constricted tonally, a little leaner. I wanted it to be, well, more like it was when I was at the session. And no, TA100 clobbered the Denon, absolutely positively. For the next round, I was playing this incredible new Lucinda Williams album. I'm showing it to you right now. Wow, she is pissed, and she's not taking it anymore. It has a raw rock and roll feel. It's compressed, but you know, it's a nice record, and she's in fine form. So I was switching back and forth between the EMOTIVA speaker, the B1 Plus, and the 3030. The B1 Plus has a nicer, sweeter top because it has a folded ribbon tweeter compared to the 3030i, but the EMOTIVA speaker is a smaller speaker and makes less bass. Okay, so I said, hey, this is a good time to add this sub that I have sitting right over here, the PSB Alpha 10. And I hooked it up, balanced it out with the little EMOTIVA speaker, and suddenly the Lucinda Williams record had some kick. It just was kicking a lot harder. And I would say balancing the sub to the speaker was really easy. By the way, there's no bass management. Very, very few integrated amps have bass management, and this one doesn't. In just, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, I had a nice balance between the sub and the EMOTIVA B1 Plus speakers. And then I cranked up Lucinda again, and I had a whole different feeling about the sound of that record because now it had some bottom weight and kick, especially in the drums and bass lines. So that was an experiment well worth doing. And yes, I will be proper reviewing. And yes, I will be doing a review of the PSB Alpha 10 coming up in a couple of weeks. Having a good time with that sub. I haven't done any subs in a while, so it's nice to get reacquainted. So late in the review, I didn't say this in the front, but I pulled out my KEF LS50 speakers because I wanted to just hear more of what the TA100 was capable of. And yeah, it wasn't embarrassed because these speakers can be sort of finicky about electronics and DACs and stuff. And yes, no problem. It's a beautiful combination, That KEF just keeps reminding me of why it's great. Now, I've heard people on the interwebs say it can be bright and everything. Well, I would say if you're feeding it with bright electronics or you're listening to a lot of compressed processed music, I wouldn't want to use a speaker as revealing as the LS50 with music that sounds like that, unless you were using the LS50 with electronics that were really taming the top, you know, taking the edge off that buzz. But I tend not to listen to that sort of music, so I was very happy with this combination of LS50 and TA100. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention this part. I did get to hear a turntable with TA100, but all of my listening was digital, and I was using the coaxial input, so using the DAC inside the TA100, and my source was my Oppo BDP205 Blu-ray player. So the internal DAC is really, really good. Adding a higher end, more better DAC, yeah, would probably make it sound better. But the internal DAC is very, very respectable. So, almost forgot that part. But now I can say, I think my work here is at last complete. So, thank you so much for watching. If you like what I do, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And when you do, hit that button right down there. And when you do, hit the bell so you'll be notified every time there's a new episode. Check out my Patreon at Patreon. And yes, nowadays it is linked below. You can check out my playlist for speaker reviews and electronics reviews and headphone reviews and music reviews. You know what? Even better, though. I like reviews, but I think the interviews are the best part of this channel. And my interviews with John Grado and Nelson Pass and Matt Weisfeld from VPI, I think that's actually the best part. So check those out. So I think my work here is at last complete. For real. Definitely. We're done. Thank you so much for watching, and I really do hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.